And obviously it now passed through the South China Sea, as said. The Chinese Navy is very much present in all these areas geographical wise. Obviously we have come across, we saw Chinese warships, but as said, we exercise our rights in international waters and at the high seas.
After passage into the Taiwan Strait, which drawn heavy criticism and irritation from China, the two German Navy ships are now currently in Manila to join the multinational naval exercise with allies within Philippines' exclusive economic zone, in the hotly contested waters of the South China Sea. Earlier, the Italian Navy Cavour Carrier Strike Group carried out a 4-day drill in the Philippine Sea with a U.S. destroyer as it made its way to Japan. The Cavour CSG, carrier I T S Cavour, CVH 550, and frigate I T S Alpino, F594, and U.S. Navy destroyer USS Dewey, DDG-105, part of the Japan-based destroyer Squadron 15, conducted bilateral operations in the Philippine Sea. The visits of the Navy ships from Western allies, profoundly from NATO member nations, is an indication that the global community is concerned in the growing tension in the West Philippine Sea, which could bring the United States to a direct confrontation to China, as the U.S. is legally committed to protect the Philippines based on the 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty. As the Philippine Coast Guard flagship vessel left Escoda for repositioning purposes, Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has ordered the military to maintain a presence in the disputed waters, following the pullout of the BRP Teresa Magbanua, the National Maritime Council said Monday. The country can maintain its presence in the disputed area in a number of ways, such as radar, flybys of armed forces of the Philippines aircraft, and other modalities for maritime domain awareness. The Philippines may also turn to ally nations such as the United States, Japan, Australia, and other allies for aid in technicalities. In connection with Philippines' strategic maritime security, particularly in West Philippine Sea, Manila welcomed navies from Western allies, particularly the NATO member nation, to assert the Philippine sovereign rights and jurisdiction, as part of Indo-Pacific diplomacy and global commitment for an international rules-based order and free passage to international waters. For the first time in over 20 years, the F-125 class frigate, Baden-Württemberg, and the Berlin-class replenishment oiler, Frankfurt am Main, transiting from the Taiwan Strait to the West Philippine Sea, giving strong signal to Beijing that Berlin is watching on China's aggressive action in the region. This visit is not only a testament to the enhanced defense cooperation between Germany and the Philippines, but also underscores how politically significant the Indo-Pacific region has become for Germany. The Indo-Pacific diplomacy is the German Navy's most important endeavor of defense diplomacy in 2024. It serves it in particular through close and confidence-building cooperation with strategic partners in the Indo-Pacific region, like the Philippines. While emphasizing Germany's global commitment for an international rules-based order, it also represents their pledge to ensure free and secure shipping routes and enhanced maritime security cooperation. This pledge was outlined in Germany's Indo-Pacific strategy, which stresses the importance of maintaining free and open sea lanes in the region. This premise encompasses the Indo-Pacific and the South China Sea, and particularly, the West Philippine Sea, vital to Germany's security strategies. The presence of their Navy ships in the Indo-Pacific underlines this stance that Germany is ready to stand up for UNCLOS, for international law, and to uphold the right to free navigation.
China Sea and the Yellow Sea, we have come across the Taiwan Strait, and obviously it now passed through the South China Sea, as said. The Chinese Navy is very much present in all these areas geographical wise. Obviously we have come across, we saw Chinese warships, but as said, we exercise our rights in international waters and at the high seas.
It underlines Germany's commitment to a stronger security engagement in the Indo-Pacific. In addition, the German Navy aims to improve its operational readiness by training crews and junior officers through challenging joint exercises with other nations. The two German Navy ships will participate in multinational exercise Noble Raven 24-3. The ships were joined by the navies of Australia, France, Italy, Japan, and the United States, amidst tension in the West Philippine Sea as China continues its aggressive actions toward Filipino vessels within Philippines' exclusive economic zone. As the two German warships passed through the international waters, Chinese Defense Ministry criticized passages by foreign naval warships. The statement claimed such operations provoke and endanger China's sovereignty and security under the pretext of freedom of navigation. On Sunday, in response to the German Navy transit of the Taiwan Strait, the PLA Eastern Theater Command issued a further statement. Senior Captain Li Shi stated, "Germany's actions have increased security risks and sent wrong signals." Eastern Theater Command spokesperson also noted that PLA continuously monitored both ships during their passage. For Germany, as the third biggest trading nation in the world, and a key trading partner to all Asian countries, free and safe shipping routes are of utmost importance. It is exactly for this reason why Germany stays not only economically and politically involved in the Indo-Pacific, but also stands ready with its navy to uphold the rules-based international order. The port call of the two German Navy vessels in Manila comes at a time when the international rules-based order in the South China Sea is constantly being challenged. In recent weeks, Germany have seen a worrying number of incidents between Beijing and Manila, in the exclusive economic zone of the Philippines, on sea and in the air. Such dangerous clashes are not only a threat to security and stability of the region, but are putting human lives at risk. Germany has repeatedly expressed its concern about these incidents and will continue to do so. One thing is crystal clear. The legal issues underlying the disputes in the EEZ of the Philippines have been finally resolved. In 2016, the Permanent Court of Arbitration, the internationally agreed arbitration tribunal constituted under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, has made a clear ruling on this matter. This arbitral award of 2016 is legally binding on the parties. Germany stands with the Philippines. Accepting this arbitral award and respecting UNCLOS by all parties concerned is essential for lasting peace and stability in the region. Germany's Defense Minister Pistorius recently reaffirmed this clearly during his visit to Manila in August. This ruling remains valid, without any exceptions. It is our obligation to strengthen maritime borders, and we are living up to it. Earlier, the Italian Navy Cavour carrier strike group carried out a 4-day drill in the Philippine Sea with a U.S. destroyer as it made its way to Japan. The Cavour CSG, carrier I T S Cavour CVH-550, and frigate I T S Alpino, F594, and U.S. Navy destroyer USS Dewey, DDG-105, part of the Japan-based destroyer Squadron 15 conducted bilateral operations in the Philippine Sea. The activity with Dewey was an outstanding training opportunity and another great demonstration of cooperation between Italian and U.S. ships at sea, Shapina said. Adding that conducting such engagements is one of the strategic objectives of the Italian Navy's operational campaign, along with ensuring security at sea and promoting economic prosperity through the Indo-Pacific region. The two navies conducted fixed-wing air defense training and combined anti-submarine warfare exercises. In addition to cross-functional training across multiple domains, the U.S. and Italian ships also conducted formation exercises and communication drills, according to the news release. In addition to cross-functional training across multiple domains, the U.S. and Italian Navy vessels also conducted formation exercises and communication drills, events tailored to build understanding and trust when conducting high-end maneuvers. The U.S. Navy regularly operates alongside their allies in the Indo-Pacific region as a demonstration of its shared commitment to the rules-based international order. Bilateral operations such as this one provides valuable opportunities to train, exercise and develop tactical interoperability across allied navies in the Indo-Pacific. The activity with USS Dewey is an outstanding training opportunity for their crews. Another great demonstration of fruitful interactions and cooperation between Italian and U.S. ships at sea, said Shapina. I should say, a normal interoperability rehearsal which keeps up our standards and ability to work together. Conducting this type of activity is one of the strategic objectives of our operational campaign, ensuring security at sea and promoting economic prosperity through the Indo-Pacific region. Dewey is forward deployed and assigned to Destroyer Squadron 15, the Navy's largest desron and the U.S. 7th Fleet's principal surface force. U.S. 7th Fleet is the U.S. Navy's largest forward deployed numbered fleet, and routinely interacts and operates with allies and partners in preserving a free and open Indo-Pacific region. Meanwhile, an Italian Navy carrier strike group has shared its best practices to the Philippine Navy, which is now in the process of developing its naval aviation capabilities. The Philippine Navy welcomed the Italian delegation, led by Rear Admiral Giancarlo Shapina, during their visit to the Navy headquarters in Manila last week. A carrier strike group is a flexible naval force that can operate in confined waters or in the open ocean, day and night and in all weather conditions. The Italian carrier strike group, consisting of the aircraft carrier, I T S Cavour, and its escorting frigate, I T S Alpino, arrived in Manila for a goodwill visit on September 2nd. The visits of the Navy ships from Western allies, profoundly from NATO member nations, is an indication that the global community is concerned in the growing tension in the West Philippine Sea, which could bring the United States to a direct confrontation to China, as the U.S. is legally committed to protect the Philippines based on the 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty. In the ground of West Philippine Sea, BRP Teresa Magbanua leaves Escoda Shoal with mission accomplished, to undergo needed repairs, but Manila will soon return to Escoda stronger, to maintain its presence and continue to assert its sovereign rights and jurisdiction, and monitor illegal activities in the area. For now, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has ordered the military to maintain a presence in the disputed Escoda Shoal. The country can maintain its presence in the disputed area in a number of ways. These includes aid in technicalities from ally nations such as the United States, Japan and Australia. Philippine top officials allayed concerns that the pullout of the BRP Teresa Magbanua, the biggest vessel of the Philippine Coast Guard, was a sign that the Philippine government is giving up its claim on Escoda Shoal. That's a wrong point of view. Even if Teresa Magbanua left, it did not diminish Manila's presence in the area because they have other ways to monitor and cover the area. The main reasons for sending the PCG vessel to its home port in Palawan was humanitarian, as several of the personnel manning required immediate medical attention. Admiral Ronnie Govan has ordered the deployment of another PCG vessel to Escoda Shoal once the big waves in the area have subsided. The whys in the Magbanua's forced pullout are easy to understand. First, there was bad weather since early last week. Second, basic supplies were scarce. Finally, the health and safety of its crew were a concern. They'd been out for sea longer than the Magbanua's usual deployments. Personnel were dehydrated and sick. This repositioning will allow the Magbanua to address the medical needs of some of her crew, undergo needed repairs, and allow her crew to enjoy a well-deserved furlough and reunion with their loved ones. The Philippines maintained that the withdrawal from Sabina was not a defeat, rejecting comparisons to the Scarborough Shoal, which Manila lost to Beijing after a similar months-long standoff in 2012. It would be impossible for China to totally stop the Philippines from sending its ships around the 137 square kilometer Sabina Shoal. The Philippine Coast Guard can carry out whatever it takes to make sure that China will not be able to occupy and even reclaim Escoda Shoal. The Philippines have other Coast Guard vessels that may have been or may already be proceeding to Escoda Shoal, Terriella said without providing details, citing operational security considerations. Philippine Coast Guard flagship vessel has been victim to the worst in the West Philippine Sea, as tensions rise between the superpower China and the Philippines. The BRP Teresa Magbanua has survived it all, proudly flying the Philippine flag over Escoda Shoal. Never mind that there's been a gaping hole in her hull since late August 2024. BRP Teresa Magbanua would return to Escoda Shoal after undergoing repairs, along with additional forces from the PCG and the Armed Forces of the Philippines, AFP. Once resupplied, repaired, and the crew recharged, BRP Teresa Magbanua will be in tip-top shape to resume her mission, along with other PCG and AFP assets, as defenders of Philippine sovereignty. China, for its part, reiterated its territorial sovereignty over Escoda Shoal, stating that the Philippines was undermining peace and stability in the region. The actions of the Philippine side severely infringed on China's territorial sovereignty, seriously violated the Declaration on the Conduct of Parties in the South China Sea, and undermined regional peace and stability, China Coast Guard spokesperson Liu Dejun said. We sternly warn the Philippine side to stop inciting propaganda, taking reckless actions, and infringing on China's rights. They should work with China to maintain the seriousness and effectiveness of the Declaration on the Conduct of Parties in the South China Sea.